So here's a production day. Josh and I went to go out and shoot for a school district that we work with. Kind of showing off the cart here. We just picked that up at NAB. So we got the FX6 on it. We got the light I also picked up. And the monitor, the 21-inch monitor from OC, we also just recently picked up. So a lot of new pickups that are on this shoot. Not to mention the Remuses also are a new pickup. And those finally got shipped out to us. And so we are shooting on the Blazar Remus, and we're stopping down and trying to make it look good, but also adding a different effect for this client. So anyway, as you see here on the table, the table. Well, actually, I want to talk about these stands. As you can see, like those little light stands that are coming up from the cart right there. I actually got one of my lights on there, and it's shooting through the diffusion right there. Those are great accessories because this is super run and gun as far as like we're going fast and we're moving from setup to setup. And so it was really great that we could come out here with this setup. Light was already on the cart. The diffusion, the 4x was already on the cart, and all we had to do was just turn on the light, plug it in, turn it on. You got the backlight back there. We're using lightweight stands. We're not using C stands just so that we can get them in and get them out real fast. So when we're indoors, we're shooting that light right into that 4x of diffusion, and it looks great. In other instances, we're using neg, but here we didn't have to use any neg. We just went and shot it. Right here, we are using some neg. Now, with the limitations that we got, she's well lit. Jumping over to this B-roll real quick, but we'll go back over to the other shot. This is that 21-inch OC monitor that we got. It's great. It's really awesome. It's 1,500 nits, and we had this like at Power 4 indoors, and right here as we're outdoors, we had that sucker up to about 7 or 8 in the shade, and it was great. It looked really good. So yeah, we really loved that. Had the D-squeeze on the monitor. I don't think the FX6 has gotten that update yet for the D-squeeze for the 1.5 times, so we were using it in the monitor. But yeah, we were really pleased with our whole setup. Like I said, the cart was a new pickup. They were clapping for him whenever he got a take. They were clapping for him. Yay! So that was funny. Once again, nice lens. The other cool thing about that setup that I'm showing off here is that as we're indoors, we could shoot through to your top left there. You can see my light, and we're shooting right through the diffusion. That light is a Godox 300 by. It's the mono light, so it's the one that it's got the ballast in the light, so we don't have to worry about ballasts or anything like that. We have some NAND lights. I have some. My personal kit is full of Godox lights, so I got the no LED, the no LED 600, 300, and whatnot. But I love these mono lights for situations like this where it's run and gun, and we just want to, just plug one plug in and then go. And it worked really great for what we were doing. So yeah, here's Josh going and getting some of the B-roll. I was doing B-roll operating the gimbal cam, but in this instance, he wanted to get some closes. He was on the 65, so he's getting a medium there. But back on into the warehouse, the lighting wasn't that great, but it wasn't that bad either, since it was more daylight. So the problem was just having like shelving and everything in between the light, even though the light was super mobile because it was on the cart, but because it was on the cart, we couldn't roll it around. So that was the one limitation that it was like, man, it's a great setup. But now, look how far away the light is from the subject, which we would have liked to have gotten it closer. And in other instances we did, but here, not so much. If I didn't say it already, we are shooting with the Sony FX6 and the FX3. And the FX6 is more of like the interview cam. The FX3 is the go cam, gimbal cam. Check it out, man. This card has been a really great buy. We got a great deal on it at NAB. We saw it. We've been wanting something like an innovative, but we didn't want to pay innovative price, just because it's just way too much money. and we have so many other things going on. So we were able to pick up this cart for a really good price, and so far it's been really good. I'm going to do an official review on it, like a full review on it here in the near future. But this was the first test run, and it was great. Also, those Axoon CineView transmission systems, we're going to do a review on that as well. We picked that up. I've also got a review coming on my monitor, which is the 7-inch. So here is the rare shot of me getting some B-roll, since every other time I was getting B-roll, the phone was in my pocket. So I decided to pull it out and record. And we're both actually shooting B-roll at this point because, again, we were running and gunning so fast. We got so many interviews, and we realized we didn't have enough B-roll. These are one of those gigs where we have a relationship with the client. And so we definitely do our pre-production, but it's also like we know what we're doing. So it's not one of those things where we could really do like, okay, we're going to storyboard. We know what we're going to shoot. We know the angles we're going to shoot. It's not working that way. It's more of like, okay, we're going to get some kids on the day. And they're going to do this action. We're going to try to have them do something for you, and you guys are going to shoot it. And that's how it went. So at this point, we were like, we need B-roll, and we don't have enough. So Josh jumped on camera. I jumped on the gimbal cam, and was, using the focus motors myself. So I was running that thing with the focus motors because it's a manual lens. It's those Blazar Remises. So, and, I didn't have any D-squeeze in the camera, so I had my monitor just above the camera there. I actually flipped it over because I was actually running it on the top handle, and it was just so high. So I ended up flipping it upside down, and it worked great. So we just finished our shoot for the school district, and it's very tiring. Josh over here driving.
Yep.
I think we did a pretty good job. That's the cart. There's the camera, as you can see. There's our silk. That was like the biggest thing. What do you think about that cart, Josh?
I mean, the cart itself is fantastic. I like the cart, but it is big. I mean, we only got the 42-inch, the medium size, but just navigating and moving it around in places, going through doorways and stuff, it's big. We definitely noticed that going through a small doorway, anything hanging off the sides of the cart was a problem. We had our silk just kind of like right up against the cart, but hanging off the side. Yeah. And it definitely was like, and then we had the silk was fine, but the grip head holding the silk was like hitting the edge of the door frame. So like, hang on, don't mind that. Going through. So overall, I liked it. But boy, it sure took some time to pull that out of the car, set it up, load it up, and roll in, and then break it down, unload it, put it back in the car, load the car. So we just need a van with a ramp. That's what we need, and that's on the list, but we don't have it yet.
Yeah, we put the cart before the horse.
We have no horse to pull our cart.
That's what we found was the most time-consuming part, was breaking it down. As you can see here, the tires are still on, so we didn't break it down as like to the smallest that you can get it, where you put the tires and you put the brackets in it. We didn't have time for that, so we broke it down. As a matter of fact, we broke it down right now to go home further than we did in between like school sites, because we had to travel from one site to another site, and so we had gear in it, and then we put stuff on top, so it was just not optimal. So the van is the next idea. If you're gonna like buy an innovative cart or any other kind of production cart like this, then if you're going to one place and staying at that one place, then you're good. And we've had other shoots. Our last big shoot was like that. And we were talking and we were like, yeah, this would have been perfect for that. But for this particular shoot, oh man, it just took us so much more time, and set up and break down, and then set up and then break down, and then set up and then break down. All right, currently in my garage, and I just kind of wanted to just kind of talk over the lights real quick. And if I could just leave anybody with anything, for those of you who are trying to get into video production, here I have my Godox No LED M600D. It's kind of like the Aperture 600D. Very much like it. This is the 300D. And then in that guy right there, that is my Godox SL150. I think it's called the SL series. I still keep my sale boxes. It's that one, the SL150 Mark II. And then the light that you saw us using today on production was the SL300 bicolor Mark III. So, and the point I wanted to make here is that, you know, a lot of people are going out and they're buying FX6s because they know it's an in-demand camera. A lot of people are buying FX3s. But if I could encourage you, if you're going to purchase anything else, or if you haven't even purchased a camera yet, you can get lights. Purchase lights. If you're going to purchase anything, do not forget you can always rent. And that's one of the things at the point of my career right now. I'm like, if I had to start all over and I'm doing things solo, I'm working with Josh and we're working together, and, you know, he's got gear, I got personal gear. And then together, you know, we use each other's gear, and we shoot. But if I had to do it all over from scratch, I would rent 90% of the stuff. I would have one camera, which would maybe be like a FX3. I currently have the A7S III, which is just like the FX3. And I'm good with that camera. I've had it for 3 years, and I said that in the Pixis, my Pixis video. But if there was anything else I'm gonna get, it'd be a light, and the light is the thing that I highly recommend anybody get, because that's what's gonna change your images for the better. Lighting and lighting, you know, accessories. As you can see here, I have a whole bunch of, you know, I have a couple of C-stands. I got a couple of Matthews light stands. I got a couple of these nicer light stands. I call them nicer light stands because I had like these old cheap ones that, let me see if you can even see it. But these old cheap ones that used to come with, like, you know, Amazon style. These ones are a little bit better, and these ones are a little bit better, and they have the baby pin on top. So, you know, if I'm booming out a mic, I can use that. So anyway, get a tool that fits the job. That Godox SL300 bicolor, man, I got that one for cheap. And you know, hit me up. I'm the deal getter. I got that SL300 Mark III for $250, and that light sells for like $550 or something like that. Every light I got in here, I got at a deal, and I wouldn't have purchased it if I didn't get a deal. So yeah, ridiculous deal on that, ridiculous deal on that, ridiculous deal on that one. But anyway, if I could leave you with anything, you know, get a light, get a light to go along with your camera. And the second thing that I would share with you, you know, the camera's not in there, but I would tell you to get a good camera that's older and make it work. Luke Forsyth put this video out not too long ago about it's not really so much the gear. And he talks about how he's shooting, you know, big time documentaries, and the last one he shot was on an FS7 that they either rented and he used to own, but he ended up breaking it. And he even says that he would still have it. I just purchased an FS7, and I don't have it here with me right now. I'm gonna make a review on it later, just because I got such a great, ridiculous, dumb deal. I got that FS7 for $500 out of pocket. Yeah, that's crazy. And the thing is that camera shot so many documentaries, so many things that ended up on Netflix. It's an official, legit camera. You just need to know what you're doing with it, and it's not hard to learn what you're doing with it. And that's a 10-bit camera. You know, it's got 4K 60. It's got everything you need. It's got internal NDs. And you can get that camera for around $1,500. And I just so happened to pick up a really good deal. I would say God bless me. I know God bless me. So anyway, yeah, that is what I wanted to share with you guys. I know everybody looks at everybody on YouTube and like, look at all that gear that they got. All this stuff I accumulated, and it's not even a lot, but I know it's a lot more than people getting started. I know it's not more than some of the YouTubers that I watch, and some of the YouTubers will have way more than me. I've accumulated this stuff over a few years, and like I said, I got ridiculous deals on every single one of those things. Yeah, I saved a lot of money, and that's what I'm a sucker for. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to buy it. I'd rent. You can get your career started renting. You can rent an FX6. You can rent you can rent an Aperture 600D. So anyway, don't pay attention to all that junk over there. All right, I'm out.